Hello, hello, everyone. It is Wednesday. That means it's Wisdom Well Wednesday. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Today we are doing an astrology themed one called Understanding Your Sun, Moon, and Rising. So this is the very basics of getting you to understand that it's not just your star sign, which is what we in the business call the sun sign. You can also incorporate other parts of you as well to create more of an understanding of your personality and the way that you tick. Obviously, you incorporate your whole chart, but if you just know your sun, moon, and rising, or the big three, as we like to call them, then you're actually going to understand yourself and those around you a lot better. Have you ever wondered why some days you feel like a fiery leader, while other days you just want to retreat into your cozy little shell? Welcome to the world of astrology, where your sun, moon, and rising signs unlock the secrets to your personality and your emotional landscape. Let us embark on a journey to self-discovery and how these three powerful celestial influences shape who you are. Okay, so I did do an Astrology 101, Unlocking the Secrets to the Stars, back in November the 5th. So go check out that if you're super interested in learning about astrology. But today we're just going to concentrate on the big three, the sun, the moon, and the rising sign. The rising sign is also known as the Ascendant. What we need to do to find your signs is you need to know your date of birth, which most people should know, the place of birth. Now, it doesn't need to be the exact place, like the name of the hospital or the exact street address that you lived in, that you were born in. It can just literally be the nearest town or nearest city or something like that. Sometimes that does matter depending on the size of the place. So there's like two different parts. So it's like, were you in the east side of it or were you on the west side of it? That kind of thing. But usually you just type in one thing and it comes up with that. You also need to know the time of your birth. You don't need to know exactly, although it does help to know the exact minute. However, if you just know that you were maybe between 8 and 9 in the morning, maybe put that in. And the reason that we need to know this is we need to know this for the moon usually, because that moves quite a bit in our chart. And we need to know it for the rising sign, definitely, because the rising sign changes every couple of hours. So we do actually need to know it for both the moon and the rising sign. The sun will stay the same for the whole month that you were born, unless, of course, you were born on the cusp, where you could obviously be the one before or the one that you currently are. So that's how you would work it out. Luckily, these days, we have these things called the computer and the internet, and we don't need to sit there for hours with a pencil and draw out a chart anymore. We can literally go onto the computer and we can type in the date, the place, and the time of our birth, and then it literally tells us exactly what the sky looked like. So nice and easy. There are many different ones to choose from. Just type it into Google or whatever your search engine is, and there's lots of free ones out there as well as paid ones. You just need a free one really for this. If you have any questions about that, please do reach out to me and I can let you know the ones that I use or some other ones if those are not ones that you really gel with. You need to have one that you kind of like a little bit as well so that you can work better with it. So we're going to look at each one of these individually and why you need to use them to get an overall feel for yourself and your personality, the way you tick. So your sun is what we think of when we think of our star sign. So, when someone says, what sign are you? You say, I'm Libra, I'm Leo, I'm Aquarius, whatever it is. And so a lot of people, they don't believe in astrology because they look at this sign and they think, well, that doesn't describe me. I'm nothing like that. And what can happen in these situations is that the other signs that you have actually are more personality or more influence over you. So your sun might be quite different from the rest of your chart, especially the other two, like the moon and the rising sign, might be a lot more prominent in energy for you. So you might actually be more like your rising, or you might be more like your moon. or a combination of the two, or your Mars or your Venus or whatever. And so people will think, well, the sun doesn't sound like me, so all of it's rubbish. But if you can combine the sun, the moon, and the rising together, it literally gives a more well-rounded view of you, and you can understand yourself better. So the sun is your core identity. It's your ego, not in that sense of a bad thing. It's the part of you that's quite raw, and it's the part of you that has your self-expression and your wants and needs, and your life force, right? It's this kind of energy. It's the sun. When you think of what the sun is, that big, bright, so like a Leo, obviously in the spotlight of their sun, right? Incidentally, the sun rules Leo. But anyway, I digress. So when you understand your sun, you understand your characteristics and what drives you, what your motivations are in life, or this kind of thing. It's also how you express yourself. So it's your personality. For just a single word, the sun is your personality. It's how you are as a leader, or your energy levels, stuff like that. And if you struggle, just think, what words can I think of to describe the sun? And that is that kind of energy is what you are when you look at your sun sign. The moon is about your emotions, so it's your emotional self. It's whether you are extremely emotional, like you can't watch a sad movie without bawling your eyes out, or you're completely emotionally cut off. There's like just a wall, nobody penetrates through that wall. You are completely emotionally cut off, everything in between. So it's how you are on an emotional level, how you react in emotional ways to things, to other people, to situations, to your own self thinking and that little voice in your head. How do you react to those things? And this is whatever your moon sign is. It is also about your nurturing side as well. So it's that caring part of you, maybe even empathic part of you, where you actually feel other people's emotions, or you feel other people's pain, or not, depending on what your sign is. So this is like how you deal with your emotions. And so lots of people, maybe if they are very emotional because they have a very emotional sign, they might think that that's a bad thing and try to shut it off a bit. But actually, that's you, and you need to delve more into that and own those emotions, own your sensitivity, right? Or the other way around, whatever it is that your sign is. And then we have your rising sign. It's also known as your ascendant. This is like where the sun was when you were born, really. This was like the horizon, sorry, when you were born, not where the sun was. But this is like the first impression. So when you meet someone for the first time, you kind of have an idea of what you think of them already. You know if you like them, or you know if you're a bit guarded around them, or you don't like the way that they say something. It's that first impression. So some people say it's the mask you wear, but it's not at all that. It's literally who you are on a day-to-day basis with anybody and everybody. So obviously, and this is another part of your chart, you're a different person at work than you are with your partner, your romantic partner, than you are with your family, than you are with your best friends, than you are with just acquaintances. You're a very different person. But the rising sign is the kind of person at the core of that. It's like the blueprint of what everybody gets to see of you. Okay, so let's give you some examples. So again, the sun is your ego, your personality, your look at me or don't, depending on that. And I already said like a Leo, obviously, that's actually ruled by the sun. So this is someone that is naturally confident and kind of peacocky, like they're like, look at me, I'm so amazing, and stuff like that. But it's like that's a good thing for them, right? Because they just bask in the attention and things like that, and they have the confidence to pull it off as well. On the other side of that, you maybe have an Aquarius, so they're very independent. They're quite maybe they go against society rules, or they're very into humanitarian or like big causes and stuff like that. So it depends what sign you have as to what your personality and your life force energy is like. The moon being your emotional self, it's more inner self. It's more maybe your intuition and stuff like that. So Cancer is the ruled by the moon. So it's very, very strong energy having a Cancer sign in your moon. So this is very, very sensitive, very, very nurturing, very, very loving kind of energy from somebody. Just also to say, and it gets a bit more advanced here, so we're not going to cover it, but it also matters what house these are in as well. So for example, here, if the Cancer moon is in the 4th house, it's very, very nurturing for the family and the home life kind of thing, right? Whereas if it's in the 1st house, maybe it's more about the self, it's caring for the self and the self-love and stuff like that. But we're not going to go into houses today, but where it is located on your chart also has an influence here too, which people tend to forget. Another moon sign would be a Scorpio moon. So that's very deep emotions, very secretive, very like quite emotionally raw, and yeah, it's very, very easy to go down quite a deep rabbit hole of emotions for a Scorpio moon. Your rising or ascendant, again, it's that first impressions, it's what people perceive you as. So a Virgo rising would be someone that appears to be very organized, very detail orientated. Maybe they're the kind of person that makes lists for everything and plans everything. And this is very evident to people just meeting them for the first time, that this is their kind of personality and their persona. A Libra rising might be very diplomatic, very fair, very balanced energy, very gentle, but firm when there needs to be some kind of like justice given out, right? So they're very, very well balanced in that respect. So you can already probably see why it's important to bring these three together to understand overall that kind of person, rather than just using the sun sign as our star sign, but actually incorporating the moon and the rising sign can actually bring in more of a rounded personality and more of an understanding for that person. Like, you don't need to go and do their entire chart to understand them, although that of course helps. You can literally just know these three and understand quite a lot of that person just by learning those three. And if you go a bit further and you look into the houses as well, you really get a proper view of what that person is, what makes them tick, what motivates them, what doesn't, what they care about, what they don't. And it's very, very interesting to just include those and really like pinpoint that person. Okay, so I wanted to do a real life example. And so I wanted to use like a famous person that we knew the date and time and place of, and because a lot of the famous people, you don't know the time a lot, right? So I was thinking, kings and queens, and I was like, not everybody knows that, depending what country they're in, and presidents, well, not everyone knows a president, and all of this kind of stuff, and even movie stars, but a lot of them you don't know their time of birth. So all that to say that I decided to go with Princess Diana, just because I feel that most people at least know a little bit about her. And if I tell you her sun, moon, and rising, it will actually help you understand these a little bit better. If you don't know who Princess Diana is, go take a look now and then come back. You just need to get the cliff notes for this bit. Or I can just explain to you now through her sun, moon, and rising sign of what she was all about. Okay, so I've typed in her place, her date, and her time into a online generator calculator thing and got up her chart. So as you can see, her sun sign is in Cancer. So Cancer, which we've already kind of spoke about from the moon sign, that kind of energy comes in now to the personality of her. So key traits here would be like nurturing and compassionate, very, very sensitive, right? So Princess Diana was very, very much associated with her deep empathy for the world and the people around her. She was very, very caring when she met people of all different races, religions, even like there's so many ones where she would go and visit people that were sick, and she'd go and shake their hands and things when you weren't meant to touch them and things like that. Like she was very much that humanitarian kind of feel to her. She was very, very caring, and that's why she was beloved by a lot of people. So this also shows that she has a lot of emotional intelligence as well here. And she does easily connect to people on that kind of level of like on like a personal level. She's one of those people that you can instantly connect with, instantly bond with, instantly feel like you're friends with, because she has this Cancer sun. Her moon sign is, or was, in Aquarius. So again, we talked a little bit about Aquarius today, but the traits for Aquarius sign would be independence and humanitarianism and innovative, right? So it's very much, it describes Diana's work when she did like HIV or mental health and all of these kind of charities that she had. This is where she had her Aquarius, because the moon, if you remember, is the emotional side, the nurturing side, the part of you that really wants to help people or not, depending on your sign. But because she has Aquarius, she has that tendency to want to go out and change the world and make it a better place. It's also a little bit about breakaway or a rebellion of society and stuff. And so this can be shown with how she stepped away from the royal family and the traditions of that, right? So with the divorce and everything, she stepped away from that. And so this was very much an Aquarius moon side of her. Her rising sign, interestingly, is a Sagittarius. So Sagittarius key traits would be like adventurous and open-minded and optimistic. Be someone that likes to travel a lot and experience new places and things, which Diana did. She went and she traveled the world and she met new people, and she really, really immersed herself in the culture and things of wherever she was. So the Sagittarius rising, I remember this is what people see of you straight away. The first impressions of you sees this woman that's very, very much into exploring new beliefs and cultures and trying new things, and not being afraid to try new things out and experiment and be adventurous with stuff. So this is very much shows like when she would travel the world and meet new people and just instantly get on with them and respect their traditions and cultures and things like that. So very much all around this, like just by bringing in all three of these, we see more rounded understanding of who Diana was. Now, obviously, you go into more of the chart, you understand a lot more about things that make her tick, or things that she cared about, things that she had problems with, and blockage around and stuff like that. But just by having these three, we understand her a lot more than if we just said, oh, she was a Cancer star sign. Now we have quite a bit just there, but it doesn't tell us a lot, right? But when we added in the moon and when we added in the rising, we got more of an understanding of her. Does this make sense to people? Hope it does. If it doesn't, please do reach out and let me know. Or if you have questions about your own one, let me know as well. I'm happy to help you with those. Next week. Next week, we are understanding the stellar gateway chakra, cosmic awareness and expansion. So this is episode 12 of our chakra series. We are looking at the 10th chakra. This is also known as the solar chakra. If you remember last month, we did the lunar chakra. So it's like the solar one now. So the moon one, and now we're going to do the sun one next week. I'm going to see if I have anything gold to wear. I don't know that I do. So that'll be interesting. I'm going to try and get some gold for that color next week. Yes, so as always, please do like, subscribe, share, press the notification button. If you do have any questions, reach out anytime about this or anything else that I do. And if you have any requests for any videos in the future, please do let me know as well. I love hearing some of your requests, and they do actually become videos. So thank you to all those who have already reached out with ideas and suggestions. All right, I hope you have been inspired to go and look at your sun, moon, and rising sign and get to know yourself a little bit more, or those around you as well, just to understand them a bit better. Until next Wednesday, have a wonderful week, everyone. I will see you soon. Bye-bye. From the wisdom well, keep shining, continue learning, and stay curious. Until next Wednesday.